So we studied about the syllables, books, internet, introduction, application, then internet address, class, uniform resource locator, domain name system architecture, diagram, domain name, protocols, telnet, yes, FTTP, HTTP. Did we study the last lectures, right? Now, today we are going to start with something. I told you to find out something. What was the homework? Yeah, IP. I told you to find out the IP. So I hope everyone has found it. The IP. What is the IP address of your mobile or your PC? Yes. Okay. So we will now discuss this in the last 10 minutes of the lecture. So today we are moving with the next topic. That is your search engine. Okay. Search engine. Can anyone let me know what is a search engine? Okay. So what is a search engine? The search engine was a web-based tool that enables users to locate information on the World Wide Web. वर्ल्ड वाइड वेब में हमें जो भी इन्फॉर्मेशन फाइंड आउट करनी है वो इन्फॉर्मेशन हमें कौन लोकेट करके देगा दैट इन्फॉर्मेशन इज गोइंग टू लोकेट बाय द वर्ल्ड वाइड वेब yes right correct so again popular examples of the search engines were what google yahoo and amazon search now information gathered by the spiders now this the whatever information that we are going to collect that information is always gathered by the spider and is used to create searchable index of the data searchable index of the web. Now, whenever we just answer the query in the web browser, it is commonly accepted that there are different types of search queries, and the queries are navigational search queries, informational search queries, and the transactional search queries. These are the three types of queries that they are easily accepted by the browsers. So, what is exactly the search engine do? Your search engine exactly follow the three rules, and the three rules are web crawling, indexing, and searching. So, what is a web crawling? Web crawling means web search engines get the information by web crawling from site to site. They crawl the data from site to site. The spider checks from the standard flame name robots.txt and address to it. Means whatever the data that we are going to receive, that data is going to receive by the robots.txt and they are going to be addressed to it. Now, what does a robot.txt file contains? Your robot.txt file contains directive for search spiders. जैसे कि हम लोग ये बुक है वी आर हैविंग अ वेरी लॉन्ग एंड थिक बुक सो उस थिक बुक में अगर हमें डायरेक्टली हमें पता नहीं रहता कि हम लोग कौन से पेज फाइंड आउट करना है सो वी गो फॉर द इंडेक्सिंग इंडेक्स हम लोग क्या चेक करते हैं कि हमारे इंडेक्सिंग index is been designed with the help of the numbers first the numbers and then with the alphabetical in the sequence order right so in the same way the robots.txt file contains a directive for search spiders telling it which pages to go मतलब कौन से पेज पे जाना है that is the directive tells the spiders to go to that page and get the information. Now after checking for robots.txt and either finding it not मतलब वहाँ पे जाएगा वो find out करेगा मिला है कि नहीं मिला है. So the spider sends certain information back to be indexed depending on many factors such as the titles, page content, JavaScript, cascading style sheet, CSS, headings और its metadata in the HTML matrix. This वो बताएगा हमें कि हमें डेटा मिला है या नहीं मिला है और वो डेटा के अंदर पेजेस कंटेंट्स कौन से होंगे that data pages contents will be of JavaScript, cascading style sheets that is your CSS, headings or metadata in the HTML matrix. So what is a metadata? Metadata is nothing but the information that is contained in the what happened to the voice Is it not clear? Is it okay? Okay, okay, okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. Acha, okay. I was not knowing. Sorry. Okay. So what happens over here that after checking for robots in the robots.txt, the spider sends certain information back to be indexed depending on many factors, and then many factors such as metadata, javascript, cascading style sheets, headings, or its metadata in html meta text. Now after the certain number of pages scrolled, after a certain number of pages scrolled, amount of data index or time spent on the website, the spider stops scrolling. मतलब वो scroll करना बंद कर देता है और आगे move on करता है. Now, no web crawler में actually crawl the entire reachable web. मतलब वो पूरा crawl नहीं कर पाता और कोई भी web crawl नहीं करता है. Okay? Why? Because there are infinite websites. Spider traps spam and other exigencies of the real web crawlers. Instead, apply crawl policy to determine when the crawling of a site should be deemed sufficient. Means इन द होल वर्ल्ड देयर आर लॉट्स एंड लॉट्स ऑफ वेबसाइट. तो हर एक वेबसाइट पे स्पाइडर अगर जाएगा तो बहुत टाइम्स हो जाएगा. सो व्हाट डज दे डू इज दिस स्पाइडर, कभी कभार क्या हो जाता है, इवन दे गो दिस स्पाइडर ट्रैप्स, कभी कभार ट्रैप हो जाता है, स्पैम हो जाता है, अदर जो प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं वो रियल वेब में अकर होने लगते हैं. सो क्रॉलर्स हैव अप्लाइड अ क्रॉल पॉलिसी टू determine when the crawling of a site should be deemed sufficient. Means suppose 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. And some websites are crawled exhaustively while others are crawled only partially. Means कुछ ऐसे ही websites होते हैं जो पूरे web में घूमते हैं और डेटा निकाल कर लाते हैं. And in the most of the cases, the others information, the other things that we want to find out are crawled only partially. So this was your something about the web crawling. Means they just find out the information. In indexing means associating words and other definable tokens found on the web pages to their domain name and HTML based field. Suppose we are typing www.vivacollege.org. So first they will go for the org, then they will go for the college, then they will go for the Viva, and then they will go for the www. In this way, they are going to find out the associating words. After finding out the associating words, they will go for the, if they are not getting the associating words, they will go for the other definable tokens. And after finding out the definable token found, they are going to public on the web page. Now the association are made in a public database made available for web search queries. Suppose a query from a user can be a single word, जैसे हम लोग सिर्फ w डाल देते हैं, so we get a lots of researches. Multiple words means www.vivacollege.org. Sometimes we just put a sentence. हम लोग जो हमारा जो भी query रहता है वो query क्या हो जाता है, हम लोग we just put up our query in the search bar. So what does the index do is, index helps finding information relating to the query as quickly as possible. And this is a very much family. जैसे आप लोग क्वेश्चन डालते हो, जैसे आप लोग क्वेश्चन डालते हो, we get a lots of answers in the query. So some of the techniques for indexing are and catching are trade secrets, whereas web crawling is a straightforward process of visiting all sites on a systematic basis. क्योंकि कभी कभार इंडेक्सिंग में क्या होता है, जो भी डेटा हम लोग ने जो स्टोर किया रहता है या फिर जो हम लोग फ्रीक्वेंटली विजिट करते हैं, दैट डेटा इज स्टोर्ड इन द कैचर डेटा, एंड दैट कैचर डेटा वी गेट frequently recently on our web page. But in the web crawling is always a straight to forward process of visiting all sites on a systematic basis. So this was about indexing. Now, between visits by the spider, the cache version of the page stored in the search engine working memory is quickly sent to an inquirer. Inquirer means the person who is visiting again and again. If a visit is overdue means आप लोग लॉन्ग टाइम से आप वो चीजों पे गए ही नहीं हो या फिर जाने ही नहीं वाले हो, आपने उसको सर्च ही नहीं करना है. So the search engine will going to act as a web proxy instead. In this case, the page may differ from the search term index. मतलब आपने जो ढूंढा था उससे कहीं अपने को पेज डिफरेंट मिलता है कभी कभार. क्यों? Because if a visit is overdue, so the search engine can act just as a web proxy instead. Now, the cache page holds the appearance of the version whose words were previously indexed. So, a cache version of a page can be useful to the website website when the actual page has been lost. क्योंकि कभी कभार क्या होता है, जो हमें पेज हम लोग ने जो 4-5 दिन पहले या फिर समटाइम्स 15 days बैक हम लोग ने वो पेज पे विजिट किए थे, बट आफ्टर लॉन्ग टाइम वी हैव नॉट विजिटेड दैट पेजेस. सो व्हाट हैपेंड, sometimes the actual page has been lost, but this problem is also considered a mild from a link rot. So this is the types of the in web crawling, indexing and searching. So in this way the searching is been done inside the website, and in this way we are getting the information into the our web page. Now what is a high level architecture of a standard web crawler is, typically when a user enters a query into search engine, it is a few keywords. Okay. Now, the index already has the names of the sites contain the keywords, and they are instantly opened from the index. So we can have a here. Okay. So here we can have a, let's have a thing. See, I am sharing the a tab. Now just I'm going to type as a www dot viva college .org. So what over they are going to find out, so this is the thing that we have find it again and again. So they have given us a suggestion of this student login or the merit list. So we have to just enter as a www.vivacollege.org. As soon as we are going to click enter the button, so what we are going to get is we are going to see I have not get these same pages over here. I have not got the list of website. I have just got the www.vivacollege.org website. Okay, so this is the Viva College page, www.mumbai So these are the suggestions we are getting from the website dot idol. Okay, so see, a lots and lots of this website has been open, so this is nothing but the web crawling. And after web crawling, it suppose I am doing the English Idol results Mumbai University. Okay, clicking on this, so it is going to show us what, it is going to show us the crawling. Understood what is the web crawling or the indexing or the searching. Okay, so in this way this is the web crawling. The first that we have done, that was your web crawling. Second was the indexing, and when we want to search something in that, that is going to be your searching. Now after this, what is going to happen over here, the real processing load is in generating the web pages that are the search result list. They are going to provide us with the search result list. Now in this what happen is that every page in the entire list must be weighted according to the information in the indexes. मीन्स जैसे कि इंडेक्स, जैसे कि हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था कि हर एक चीज का वेटेज होता है, राइट. सो इन दिस वी आर हैविंग द वेटेड अकॉर्डिंग टू इन्फॉर्मेशन इन द इंडेक्स. जितना आपका चीजें फ्रिक्वेंटली हम लोग विजिट करते हैं, उतना वो चीजें अपने को बार बार हाईलाइट होता है हमारे वेब पेज पे. Yes, why? Because every page in the entire list must be weighted. They are also been weighted according to the information in the index. वो index में उसका कितना weightage है, उस हिसाब से वो page क्या होता है, reflect होता है. So the top search results item requires the lookup, reconstruction, and the markup of the snippets showing the contents of the keywords match. So you have seen that we have just gone to the www.vivacollege.org and all the procedures. Now, these are the only part of the processing each search results web page requires, and the further pages next to top require more of this post processing. मीन्स आप एक वेबसाइट देखोगे, उस वेबसाइट में ज्यादा करके इन्फॉर्मेशन रहेगी, इसलिए वो इन्फॉर्मेशन में आपको सबसे ज्यादा हाईलाइट होगा इन द अपर साइड, और फिर धीरे 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 उसकी इन्फॉर्मेशन कम 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 होती है, तो उसका जो लिंक पे जो उसके जो वेबसाइट होते हैं वो क्या होते हैं, बाद में लिंक आते हैं. सो दिस आर द ओनली पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोसेसिंग each search results web page requires, and further pages next to the top require more of this post processing. Moving to the next topic, that is your internet service provider. Now, who does the provides the internet? So, internet service provider is an organization that provides a myriad of service. Myriad means lots and lots of services. Why? For accessing, using, or participating in the internet. Now, these internet service providers can be organized in the various forms, such as commercial, community owned, non-profit or otherwise private owned. So our system it comes under what? Our system comes under the privately owned, because this is the thing that we are conducting privately, the thing that we are working in the commercial, so it will come in the commercial. Suppose there is a community, so it will come under the community, and non-profit means those who want to do the business non-profitally, that will come under the non-profit services. So what does they do? They just provide these services in the various form. Now, what does the internet service involve or provide? Internet service provided by ISP. ISP is nothing but the internet service provider. It include internet access, internet transit, distribution, web hosting, Usenet service, and co-location. Co-location means details. Co-location means details. Okay. 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 So co-location we can say is the uh, data, or we can say as the data center in the private owned sectors. It can come under this ISP, and who can include? They can include internet access, internet transit, domain name registration, web hosting, Usenet service, and co-location. Now, an ISP typically serves as the access point or the gateway that provides a user access to everything available on the internet. Just wait a minute. So what does it access? What does it gives? It gives the gateway. Gateway means an entry point. Entry point means the gateway that provides a user access to everything available on the internet. So can also build the websites themselves. Now each ISPs are all connected to each other through the network access point. Means now in the network we can connect one another with the help of the network access point. Public network facility, that is public Wi-Fi on the internet backbone. Means in the back, what is the backbone? The internet is our backbone, and in that backbone, our ISP is the main backbone in our internet providing the services. Now, an internet service provider is a company that provide web access to both business and the consumers. ऐसा है कि ISP की वो सिर्फ बिजनेसमैन को देता है, consumers को नहीं देता है? No, they provide the services to both the businesses and the consumers. What happened? Now, ISP also provide services such as email services, domain registration, web hosting, and browser services. Okay. Now, an ISP is considered to be an information service provider, storage service provider, internet network service provider, that is INSP, or a mix of all of them. Means in short, they give us full-fledged of accessing the internet. Now, what does the internet has evolved? Internet has evolved from only those with university or government accounts having access to nearly everyone having access, whether it's paid or free. Means those are going to pay for the internet, they are going to get for the internet, and those are not going to pay for the internet, they are not going to get the internet. It's as simple as that. Now, access has gone from dial-up connections to high-speed broadband technology. Means in the earlier we were having the connection which was having dial-up connections. We were having the dial-up connections, and that dial-up connection has been moved from to what, to the Wi-Fi, or we can say as a wireless technology. Yes, that is WLAN, and we can easily transmit and receive the data from the high-speed broadband technology. So this was related information about the ISP. Okay. Now, next is a web server. What is a web server? A web server is a software and a hardware that uses HTTP. And what is HTTP? It is a hypertext transfer protocol. And what does this hypertext transfer protocol do? It responds to client requests made over the world wide web. मीन्स जो भी हम लोग चीजें हम लोग सेंड करेंगे वो चीजें को क्या करेगा, रिक्वेस्ट करेगा कि हमें उसका इंफॉर्मेशन दो. नाउ, what is the job of the web server? The main job of the web server is to display website content through storing, processing and delivering web pages to the users. Suppose Viva College is there, तो Viva College का एक अलग ही सर्वर होगा और उस सर्वर में सारे डिटेल्स किसका होगा, उस चीजों में सारा किसका डिटेल्स होगा, दैट सर्वर विल कंटेन ऑल द डिटेल्स ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स. Similarly, what does a web server do is it is going to display website. In that website it can be content through storing, processing and delivering web pages to users. Now, these are the types of these servers that we have to go through. The very most famous and the popular web server is your Apache, that is your HTTP server. This is the most popular web server in the world, developed by the Apache Software Foundation. Second is the Internet Information Service. The Internet Information Server, that is IIS, is a high performance web server from the Microsoft. Third is the Light PD. Fourth is your Sun Java System web server. And the Jigsaw server. These are the types of servers available in the world. Okay, so see, this is the web browser, this is the internet, and this is the web service. This whenever we are going to give the request, that request is going to accept by the internet, and that request is going to receive to the web server. After giving receiving the request, they are going to give the response to the internet, and internet will give the response to whom, to the web browser. So internet as a medium, your web server is a backbone, and web browser is the client that is going to receive the data. Clear with this much? Clear with this much? So next is the type of the server. That is the very first server is the Apache HTTP server. Now, this is the most popular web server in the world, developed by the Apache Software Foundation. Now, Apache Web Server is an open source software and can be installed on almost all operating systems, including Linux, Unix, Windows, FreeBSD, Mac OS, and more. Now, in this, 60% of the web server runs on the Apache web servers in all over the world. The servers that we are running nowadays are the Apache web servers. Now we can have the Apache with the Tomcat module to have the JSP and J2EE related support. If we want to have the information about the server, we can have the this information on the Apache HTTP server. Now server is always having the port number, so we have to go through the port number, that what does this port number consist of. Okay, so today's homework is we have to find out the port number of the Apache server and Internet Information Services. Second is the Internet Information Service is a high performance web server from Microsoft. This web server runs on Windows NT 2000 and 2003. 2000 and 2003 are the versions, and maybe on upcoming new Windows version also. IIS comes bundled with the Windows NT 2000 and 2003 because IIS is a tightly integrated with the operating system, so it is relatively easy to administrate. Means the basic and the easiest way the IIS is the of the server is your IIS, that is your Internet Information Services. And if you want the detailed information, we can just go through the server at the in Microsoft Information Internet Services. The third is a proxy server. What does a proxy server do is the proxy server is a computer system or a router that function as a relay between client and a server. What does a proxy server do is it prevents an attacker from invading a private network, and it's one of the several tools used to build a firewall. Means they build a firewall. Why they build a firewall? is to prevent an attacker from invading a private network. मतलब वो प्राइवेट नेटवर्क में आ नहीं सकता, इसलिए उसको हम लोग क्या करते हैं, प्रॉक्सी सर्वर को रेडी करते हैं. व्हाट डज अ प्रॉक्सी मीन्स प्रॉक्सी मीन्स टू एक्ट ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ अनदर. मतलब मेरे जगह तू काम करेगा, एंड अ प्रॉक्सी सर्वर एक्ट ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द user. Why does the proxy server be required? Because there are the following purposes of to use the proxy server. What does the proxy server is do is they monitor and filter the data. They improve the performance. They do the translation. They access the service anonymously, and there is a large number of security in the proxy server. Now, what are the types of proxy that we can have? First is the forward proxy. In the forward proxy, in this, the client requests its internal network server to forward to the internet. मीन्स वो जो भी इंटरनेट मतलब इंटरनली जो नेटवर्क में चीजें स्टोर होगी, वही वो चीजें क्या करेगा, सर्व करेगा और इंटरनेट को फॉरवर्ड करेगा. सो यूजर विल गिव टू द प्रॉक्सी, प्रॉक्सी विल गिव टू द यूजर, एंड देन द डेटा इज गोइंग टू गो ऑन द इंटरनेट. दैट इज एग्जांपल डॉट कॉम. सो दिस इज द type of internal network. Means internally they are going to perform the work, and then they are going to provide to the data to the internet. Second is the open proxy. What is the open proxy means? Open proxy helps the client to conceal the IP address while browsing the web. Means there is a no connection between the user, proxy, and the internet. It is openly available to one and all. So this is the open proxy. Third is a reverse proxy. Reverse proxy, in this, the requests are forwarded to one or more proxy server, and the response from the proxy servers is retried as if it is came directly from the original servers. Is your data has been stored on the proxy, but what does the internet will do? Internet will give the data to the proxy, and the proxy will give the data to the web server. But they are going to act as that the data is received from the original server itself only. So this is the three types of proxy. First is the internal network between the user and the proxy. Second is the open proxy, open to one and all. And third is the again the reverse proxy. In the reverse proxy, what it will happen? It is going to just give the data from the web server to the proxy, and proxy to the internet. Okay, just wait a minute. Okay, so this is a reverse proxies. Now, the most very much related topic related to you is web browser. What is a web browser? Your web browser means an application used to access and view websites. This we have studied in the, I think, practical of the OS. That what is a web browser? A web browser is a simply browser application is to render. Render means to give. Render means to give. HTML, the code used to design or markup web pages. So this is something about the web browser. Okay. Now, first we are going to study about the Internet Explorer. What is Internet Explorer? Internet Explorer is a worldwide web browser that comes bundled with the Microsoft Windows operating system. आप अपने पीसी पे डालो या ना डालो, बट वो बाय डिफॉल्ट आपके पीसी में स्टोर रहता है कि नहीं होता है? Why? Because it always come with the Microsoft Windows operating system. Now, the browser was deprecated means it was given in the Windows 10 in the favor of Microsoft News Edge browser. So now they have changed from the Microsoft News Edge browser to the Windows 10. Now it is always a part of operating system, even though it is no longer the default browser. उसको हो, but it is going to be a part of the operating system. Now I miss again the Internet Explorer. Now, Internet Explorer was most popular from the 1999 when it overtook Netscape Navigator until 2012. मतलब in the earlier time when the internet was in evolved in the history of the technology, so the very first popular browser was the Internet Explorer, but it overtook the Netscape Navigator, and Netscape Navigator was famous until 2012, and whom did it overtook? The Chrome took the layer. So other competitors include Mozilla Firefox and open source browsers developed using the code from the Netscape Navigator and Apple Safari. So second is our Netscape Navigator. So Netscape Navigator was the first commercially successful web browser. Now this has been Netscape Navigator किसको overcome किया था? Netscape Navigator ने Internet Explorer को overcome किया था. So it was based off the Mosaic browsers and was created by the team lead by Mark Andreessen, a programmer who co-wrote the code of Mosaic. मतलब जिसने Mosaic का कोड लिखा था उसी बंदे ने क्या किया मोएसिक ब्राउजर को भी डेवलप किया और नेस्केप नेविगेटर को भी डेवलप किया बिकॉज इन द 90s नेस्केप नेविगेटर वाज ऑन द लीडिंग एज ऑफ इनोवेशंस बिकॉज इट वाज द थिंग मतलब जैसे हमारे मोबाइल में नए नए फीचर्स आते हैं वैसे इंटरनेट एक्सप्लोरर के बाद नए नए फीचर्स किस में आए थे आपके नेस्केप नेविगेटर्स में नए नए फीचर्स आए थे तब उस टाइम पे सबसे ज्यादा इनोवेटिव वेब ब्राउजिंग कौन सा था आपका नेस्केप नेविगेटर था why? Because what was the features that they have pioneered them were displaying a web page at its load. जैसे ही हम लोग उसको लोड करते it is going to display a web page. It has uses the using the JavaScript to create forms and interactive content. And third, it was using the cookies to keep session information. So this was the advantages of the Netscape Navigator. The third is the Opera. Now, Opera is a multi-platform web browser developed by the Opera software. Now, what does it do is it distinguishes itself from the other browsers through its user interface, functionality, and other features. Now, Opera was initially released in the April 1995, making it one of the oldest desktop web browser still actively by developed today. Means it is just a software मतलब सॉफ्टवेयर है वेब ब्राउजर है जिसको यूज करना है वो यूज कर सकते हैं जिसको यूज नहीं करना है वो लोग यूज नहीं कर सकते डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द चॉइस ऑफ द user and who has developed this the developer is the opera software general is a web browser and license is the proprietary software. So today's homework is you have to find out about the two web browser that is about the Firefox and the Google Chrome. So today's homework for you is you have to find the information about the Firefox and the Google Chrome. Is it okay? Yeah, it's easy. बट वो इजी है तो करो ऐसा मत करना कि हार्ड है तो छोड़ देना इजी है तो नहीं करेंगे तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है डोंट गिव दैट एटीट्यूड if something is been given to you so make sure that you are just covering that thing or you are just letting कि वो क्या है वो एक just go through करो मैं ऐसा नहीं बोलती कि आप उसको चीजों को रट्टा मारो या फिर पढ़ो बट उसको एक just go through करो कि उसके बारे में some information collect करो my point is to just collect the information so that whenever the question arises to you you should not be blank you should be able to give the answers my point of view is that and I want you to all study very much and बहुत बहुत पढ़ाई करो बहुत अपना नाम रोशन करो the thing is I want you to all okay so what did we study in the today's lecture was regarding the search engine in the search engine there are three tabs can anyone let me know what are the three functions of the search engine yes can anyone let me know what is the search engine what are the three components crawling searching and indexing yes very good what is the ISP Internet service provider. Okay. What is a web server? A huge computer storing website data. Okay. Okay. What is a web browser? What is a web browser? Application used to access internet. Types of web browser. Okay. Types of web browser. Navigator. And what did I give you for the homework? Firefox and Google Chrome. Okay, good. Okay, I hope everyone has done the homework of the IP. So everyone has found out the IP address of the your PC or computer. Okay, good. And how did you find the IP address of your PC? Those who have done the homework, very good. In the CMD, what did you type in the CMD? Very good. IP config. And for the mobile IP address, okay, good. Okay, students, we will leave for today's lectures because I'm having another lectures. We will continue the topic in the next lecture. Do the homework, stay home, stay safe, and study well. Thank you so much, students.